Behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
6 robots on the field, 3 for each alliance, and during the first 20 seconds, they are autonomous, moving around pre-programmed, trying to score as many points as possible for their alliance. Many of those teams releasing their preloaded fuel. None of those teams quite exploring into the neutral area between those two zones. 51-88, though, now making their way after picking up some of that fuel just in front of their driver station. Red Alliance taking that advantage with them into the tele-operated period, 27-13. We're now in that tele-operated phase. First 10 seconds here is that transition zone. Both those hubs briefly activated. Area 5188 classified robotics from Terre Haute able to score some of those fuel while their hub was still active. 1726 here, shuttling some of that fuel over to the Alliance station. A good demonstration of what to do while your hub is inactive. Blue Alliance with their hub currently active, trying to fit in some of those points. 94-53, catching one of those bouncing fuel. Quite an achievement for them to watch. Continue to move around the field of play. You're continuing to score alliances on your game pieces. Trying to pick up additional scoring opportunities for their alliance. Over 100 seconds remaining in this match. 94-53, 94-53, sponsored by the Cox Group. Continuing to move around the center part of the field. That's the Mount Vernon Wildcats. Red Alliance with their hub currently active, trying to pick up some of those scoring opportunities and score them into their alliance area. 97-90 Crypto Creek. Able to score some of those. We're receiving some of that defensive bumper-on-bumper pressure from their Blue Alliance opponents, the Thundercats, which is 35-59. We're now back over to the Blue Alliance for their active hub. Again, each of those shifts, 25 seconds in duration. Trying to pick up that fuel and deliver it into their hub. Once that hub fuel is spent, it's returned to the neutral zone between these two alliances. Additional bonus objectives here is those ranking points. One of those is the Energize, requiring 100 fuel to be spent. Red Alliance currently just 31 fuel away from that requirement. 1720 fixed gears, hoping to make their way there with help from their alliance partner. 97-90. 45 seconds remaining in the match. Blue Alliance now getting over that ranking point threshold, allowing them to increase their ranking point average in the match. Blue Alliance pushing some of that fuel into their human player station. That's 94-30, preparing their human players for additional scoring opportunities in the end game. Final 30 seconds. Both those hubs are now reactivated. Teams get final scoring opportunities and potentially looking for some of those robots to climb for additional points, but none of them will probably do that as they continue to score additional in the fuel. Lots of that spent fuel in the neutral zone, 94-30, pushing that back into their outpost, which is where the human players are, hoping that they can score some of those, still worth 1 point for every fuel in an active hub. Final 5 seconds here of this match, counting them out in 3, 2, 1. And that's all we had for this match. Stick tight to see how those scores total up. Taking with a score of 191 to Blue Alliance's 38. Red Alliance getting 4 of those 6 available ranking points for getting that energized and winning the match. 17-20, fixed gears, moving into that 7th ranked picking position. We'll be back for qualification match 50 here in a few moments. The FIN District event in Washington, presented by Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation.